Okay, is everybody all set? Everybody all right?
Hi, sorry to bring you out on a day like this with snow falling and rain dropping, but I wanted to bring you all together to tell you that in my view, that Governor Swift deserves the thanks and praise of the people of the state of Massachusetts. She's served for many years, has been a great leader, and has also particularly led in the area of education. In many respects, she is the education governor. I also think it's admirable that she's decided to focus her resources on managing the state during tough economic times and also helping raise her family with all of her energy and heart. And thank her and praise her for that decision as well. I particularly appreciate her support for my candidacy, and I look forward to meeting with her at the earliest convenience to talk about that support and how we proceed. I also want to indicate that out of respect for her and for her decision today, that I'm not going to make a formal announcement in front of a band with confetti and a lot of cheering spectators. Instead, I want this to be Governor Swift's day. I want to note, however, that lest there be any doubt, I'm in. The bumper stickers have been printed. The website is going up tomorrow morning. The campaign papers are filed today. I want to tell you that I've lived in Massachusetts for 30 years, as you know. Over that period of time, I've got to know this state pretty well. I've also had the chance of doing business in a lot of other states and actually lived in 2 states besides Massachusetts during my lifetime. And during that period, I've come to appreciate some pretty unique things about Massachusetts. We have an extraordinary citizenry. We also have resources like some of the most phenomenal hospitals in the world, remarkable universities and colleges, institutions of higher learning that are renowned around the world. They bring in billions of dollars of resources. They also create human capital and technology that other states in this country would die for. We have businesses that are both financial and manufacturing and others that just are the envy of the entire nation. And yet somehow these incredible resources have not all been translated into benefits for the average families in Massachusetts. Average citizens talk about needing better health care, better jobs, safer streets, better environment. And I believe that the key to taking our resources and translating them into the advantage for everyday citizens is better management. Bringing in the best resources we can bring from all over the state to work together with leadership on Beacon Hill to assure that every possible resource is devoted to helping the people of Massachusetts. And I intend to make my case to the people of Massachusetts that I can help bring in that better management, that I can bring a new leader that will make a difference for the people of the state of Massachusetts. And therefore, with that thought in mind, with my affection for the people of Massachusetts, with the support of my family around me, most of them, I am a candidate for the governorship of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Now let me turn to respond to you for any questions you may have.
What lesson do you draw from that for your own campaign?
Well, I'm going to focus on making sure that everything I do is geared to assuring the very best possible management of the state of Massachusetts, and that I'm going to look to find every way to strengthen our economy, to bring more jobs to the state, to strengthen our schools. And there's a lot that Governor Swift can help me and teach me in making sure that our schools get better and better. I'm not going to draw any lessons from issues of the past. Instead, I'm going to focus on potential for the future.
Helps or hurts you that she's out of the race?
I very much appreciate her support in this race. I think it enhances the opportunity I have to focus on the issues for a late campaign in October and November, and very much appreciate that support.
Do you feel like you forced her out of the race?
Well, we haven't had any conversations prior to her phone call to me today. I haven't wanted in any way to direct her as to the decision she would make, but I very much appreciate her support and hope that I can be helpful to her in the months ahead.
What was the phone call?
We had a very nice phone call. You may recall she nominated me when I ran for Senate in 1994. I like Governor Swift a good deal, appreciate her leadership, and hope that we'll be able to work together in the future.
Do you have any thoughts about picking a running mate? Briefly, if possible, clarifying your position on the key issues which the acting governor herself has suggested you do, particularly with respect to abortion rights.
Absolutely. I'll say the same thing to you that I've said since 1994 and probably before. and that is that on a personal basis, I don't favor abortion. However, as governor of the Commonwealth, I will protect the right of a woman to choose under the laws of the country and the laws of the Commonwealth. That's the same position I've had over many, many years, very clear.
I thought I may have a follow-up. It's been suggested that now it's not a cakewalk. You no longer have a Republican primary duel in your immediate future. You're now running against 5 Democrats. Can you tell us what your reaction is to that prospect?
Well, in many respects, there are going to be people that want to bring the campaign and the election, down to all sorts of, let's say, ugly issues. I'd rather keep it at a very high level and say, how can we assure that every possible resource of the Commonwealth is brought to bear to help the citizens of the Commonwealth? How do we get better jobs? How do we create better schools? How do we get safer streets? How do we take these enormous resources we have and make them work for the people of Massachusetts? And that's something which I'm happy to debate and discuss with whomever the Democratic Party puts forward.
Romney, there'd been some talk that perhaps there was not unanimity with you and your family. May we ask your wife, is she in this for the long haul? What are your thoughts today?
I think some have speculated, perhaps because of my health, that this may be difficult. I'd like to remind people that 3 years ago, I was very, very sick and was still able to go and leave my family and friends and go and do a very difficult thing and move away from my support group when I was very sick. Right now, I'm feeling great and I'm feeling healthy, and I never want to be in the way or impede my husband in any way because of what's happening in my personal life. I'm very committed to Mitt running this race, and I believe he's going to win it. And I also know that if he does, he will bring amazing strengths and to this Commonwealth, and will be able to bring about some wonderful changes. And as far as my family goes, most of them are behind us right now, and they are also very supportive, and they've been terrific.
Is this your preference to be in this race?
My preference, well, I think, Mitt and I really would have loved to have had a few weeks off, at least taken a vacation. But it is definitely my preference for him to be here, yes.
I'm going to make sure that all of the things I've learned in management over the past 30 years are applied to help average families in Massachusetts. This is the group of people that I think has been left behind with the incredible development and growth of the Commonwealth, with such incredible resources that we have and institutions. They have to have an opportunity to share in that kind of growth and success. And there have been too many left behind. Our schools aren't solid enough. Our environment has not been cleaned the way it could be. Our streets are not as safe as they should be. All these things can be made better, in my view, with the application of new leadership and sound management principles. I'm going to work very hard, I mean tirelessly, not just to win an election, but I'm going to work over the next 4 years to do everything I possibly can to assure that the people of Massachusetts share in the great resources that this Commonwealth has. About 8 years.
Sorry.
Pardon? What am I going to do about a running mate? At this stage, I'm focusing on my race, and I haven't had a conversation in person with Jim Rappaport or with Mr. Guerrero, and I intend to be able to do so in the very near future.
You're going to have your own candidate. Life all the way through. How can it connect with the common man, the average person that is coming back in the background of this?
Everything that I've done over the last 3 years, I think, makes it very clear that I'm very much connected with the people of our country and the people of the world. The Olympics was an opportunity for us to share the spirit of our country and of our homes with the world. And I'm absolutely convinced that the same kind of spirit can be brought to the work of government. It doesn't have to always be down in the dirt with political wrangling and those kinds of charges and countercharges. Instead, we can work together with people of differing views. We don't have to fire each other or fire salvos at each other. We come together to work together to make the state work for the people of Massachusetts. That's what good governing is about. That's what I'm about. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.